After which there is the marriage cake, oh the cake, a 7-tier 200 IB masterpiece encrusted with 3,000 icing roses and packed with layers of Grand Marrer buttercream. It became featured in almost each press outlet. The following day, photographed just like the extravagant prize it became, what became now no longer proven, but was the developing unease amongst Melania's Slovenian visitors. Witnesses reported quiet murmurs as Donald gave a toast all through dessert, praising himself greater regularly than his new bride. How did he make the marriage toast approximately actual property? One visitor reportedly joked Melania Trump's wedding ceremony to Donald Trump on January 22, 2005 became a grandiose spectacle, a total embodiment of the word a billionaire's dream wedding ceremony. The cameras captured the whole lot. You would anticipate the glittering robes, the gold-accented decor, and the A-listing visitor listing that covered everyone from Hillary and Bill Clinton to Simon C. However, as amazing, because the occasion regarded from the out-of-doors, there had been matters the cameras failed to display that inform much deeper and greater sudden tale approximately that day now, to apprehend the importance of this wedding ceremony. You've got to apprehend who Melania became on the time Melania knauss, a Slovenian-born model acknowledged for her pudding functions and sleek professionalism. By the point she walked down the aisle, she were with Donald Trump for 6 years, navigating existence along him as his high-profile lady friend, with inside the New York elite social scene. Theirs became a fit, closely scrutinized and lots of questioned. Became this simply any other bankruptcy in Donald's whirlwind love existence, or became there something unique? Right here, the rite itself as cameras rolled. It performed out like a fairy story. A regal white tent stretched throughout the assets of Bethesda via way of means of the Sea Episcopal Church in Palm Beach, Florida. The scene glimmered with reputedly infinite rows of white orchids and greenery. This wasn't simply a wedding ceremony. It became an occasion designed for spectacle, for a legacy. It became made to be remembered. However, what the cameras didn't display starts off, evolved with Melania herself. With inside the hour main, as much as the rite, she became uncharacteristically quiet, in accordance to reassets near her, on the time she regarded pensive, nearly withdrawn, as a flock of makeup artists and hairstylists converted her into what a few had been already calling an American princess, and of route there has been no hiding. The get-dressed Melania's choice custom Dior robe, via way of means of mythical designer John Galliano, became right away iconic. It became blanketed in over 300 toes of satin and almost 1,500 rhinestones and pearls, with a educate see you later. That handling it became almost an Olympic occasion. However, what visitors failed to see became the immense pressure it located at the bride, both bodily and emotionally, on greater than one event. All through the day, Melania had to excuse herself to alter the bulky outfit, which weighed around 60 fen male visitors, later discovered that behind the curtain, Melania confessed how hard it became, calling the gown greater armor than style, and possibly the maximum telling element, in preference to focusing on his bride. To be Donald spent maximum of the morning making final minute adjustments to seating preparations and greeting early visitors. There has been little proof of pre-wedding ceremony jitters. However, then again, Donald Trump became by no means acknowledged for wearing his feelings on his sleeve. Nevertheless, an insider referred to that, notwithstanding the public show of self-belief and allure, he kept sharp, nearly obsessive eye at the clock. Timing became the whole lot for this second, and now no longer most effective due to the camera. As for the visitor, listing the high-profile political names noticed via way of means of journalists had been most effective a part of the tale. What the cameras failed to trap became the response of a few visitors once they found out who had been invited, and greater apparently, who had now no longer Melania's visitor. Listing most effective covered a small organization of near friends from her modeling days, whilst Donald's listing leaned closely on enterprise partners, celebrities, and political allies. It failed to experience like a mixing of lives. One attendee later marked it, felt like a showcase. To her beyond, she become decided now, no longer to lose, after which there may be the marriage cake, oh the cake, a 7-tier 200-pound masterpiece encrusted with 3,000 icing roses and full of layers of Grand Marrer buttercream. It become featured in nearly each press outlet. The subsequent day, photographed just like the extravagant prize, it become what become now no longer proven, but become the developing unease amongst Melania's Slovenian visitors. Witnesses reported quiet murmurs as Donald gave a toast all through dessert, praising himself extra frequently than his new bride. How did he make the marriage toast approximately actual property? One visitor reportedly joked at the back of the scenes. Multiple workforce member on the occasion commented at the uncommon atmosphere among the two newlyweds. There weren't a variety of standard moments you would assume at a marriage. One stated no spontaneous kisses, no playful glances. It felt extra like a business partnership being sealed with a golden ribbon. Nevertheless, for all of the evaluations and whispered doubts, there become a type of magic with inside the air that cannot be denied. Melania may also have regarded reserved at instances, and Donald may also were his larger-than-life polarizing self. However, once they took to the dance ground for their first dance as husband and wife, something surprising befell. Cameras didn't seize the manner Melania comfortable, barely smiling, as Sinatra's strangers with Inside the Night performed visitors, later stated that for the one's couple of minutes, it become as though the sector outdoor the ballroom melted away, however, because the nighttime war at the spectacle failed to give up at one factor, while the newlyweds mingled a number of the visitors. Truth TV crews discreetly filmed pictures for Destiny specials. Whispers unfold of offers being brokered right there on the reception. It has also been stated that positive conversations amongst the wealthiest attendees have been approximately extra than simply taking part in the birthday celebration. People quietly floated commercial enterprise pitches to Donald at the same time as the bride become greeting visitors. It is smooth to awareness at the outside, the diamonds, the caviar, the orchestra gambling into the nighttime. However, below all of the glitz, Melania Trump's wedding ceremony become a ways from a well-known romance tale. It become a really perfect lens into two wonderful lives merging Melania, a female who had usually maintained a private, mysterious allure, and Donald, a person who in no way shied far from making himself the fundamental man or woman in each narrative. Possibly the maximum beautiful element of all wasn't something that befell all through the 780 marriage, however, after with inside the early hours of the morning, long after the cameras had packed up, and maximum of the visitors had long passed domestic. One insider claims Melania again to her suite, nevertheless in her get dressed simply to take a seat down quietly, via way of means of herself. For a second she allegedly lit a small candle and stared out the window over Palm Beach, misplaced in thought. Whether or not this become a scene of quiet contentment or mirrored image at the path she had simply stepped into is anyone's wager. However, one element is obvious, that second belonged to Melania by myself. A ways far from the flash of cameras that had catalogued nearly each different second of her massive day in the long run, the marriage of Melania Trump become an occasion as layered as her 7-tiered cake component, fairy tale component spectacle, and component thriller, and like the female at its center, it found out simply sufficient to preserve the sector guessing.